Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are exploring some absolutely groundbreaking concepts drawn directly from a fascinating discussion between cellular biologist Dr. Bruce Lipton and researcher Gregg Braden. Their work literally challenges the entire accepted narrative of our biological history, and it points toward a radical new understanding of human potential. We're going to map out exactly how modern cellular biology, quantum physics, and epigenetics are rewriting the whole story of who we actually are. So let's dive right into this, because this is a massive, paradigm-shifting question. For well over a century, civilization has essentially operated on Charles Darwin's premise, the idea that life is this relentless, dog-eat-dog struggle for scarce resources, and that we're basically just biological machines driven by random genetic mutations. But what if the science we built that entire worldview upon has been completely overturned?
Section 1. The Missing Genes Mystery, a Biological Anomaly.
To really wrap our heads around this shift, we gotta go back to the Human Genome Project. For decades, right, biologists basically used genes as the ultimate measuring stick for evolution. The assumption was pretty simple: more genes equaled a more complex organism. And because humans sit at the perceived top of the evolutionary ladder, scientists confidently expected the Human Genome Project to find well over 100,000 human genes just to account for our incredible complexity. But when the project actually wrapped up, the scientific community was absolutely stunned. They found a shockingly low number, only about 22,000 human genes. Just to put that into perspective for a second, some of the most primitive organisms on this planet have roughly 20,000 genes. Scientists were missing nearly 80,000 genes they thought were absolutely required to make a human being. This completely unraveled the old genetic story. Evolution just couldn't be measured simply by a higher gene count anymore.
See, the old belief was that our genetic code was read-only. You inherited your genes, they turned on and off all by themselves, and, well, you were essentially a victim of your heredity. But this new biological reality shows us that genes are actually read-write blueprints. They do not dictate our destiny. Instead, our mind acts as the architect that can literally rewrite how these genetic blueprints are expressed to adjust to whatever environment we're in.
Section 2. Cells are computers, the IT perspective.
And this brilliantly illustrates how modern science is actually starting to look at human biology through an IT lens. Dr. Lipton made this profound discovery when he compared the biological definition of a cell membrane with the technological definition of a computer chip. Get this, both are defined as crystal semiconductors with gates and channels. They share the exact same structural and functional definition. The cell isn't just some squishy biological boundary, it is a carbon-based programmable chip, and the nucleus holding your DNA is simply the hard drive. And this right here is the whole foundation of epigenetics. It's the biological mechanism that proves we are active participants in our own biology. Because our cells act like programmable chips, the environment, our perceptions, and our conscious mind act as the programmers. We aren't locked into some rigid genetic destiny. We are actively self-regulating our biology moment by moment.
Section 3. The DNA fractal antenna, tuned to the universe.
Now, this builds into an even more mind-blowing view of human biology, which is highlighted by Gregg Braden's incredible research. And this isn't just some poetic metaphor. A 2022 article from the Journal of Soft Computing explicitly states that human DNA acts as a three-dimensional fractal antenna. Really think about that for a second. You have 50 trillion cells, and inside the nucleus of every single one is an antenna, tuned to receive information from a vast spectrum of frequencies totally outside of your physical body. And here's the wild part. We have the unique ability to actually self-regulate what these antennas receive and broadcast. Braden lays out 7 core epigenetic triggers that we control: our thoughts, feelings or emotions, breath, focus, nutrition, and movement. Amazingly, 5 of these 7 triggers are centered right around the human heart. By bringing our heart and mind into coherence, we are literally dialing the frequency of our biological antennas. But that begs the question, right? What exactly is this antenna receiving? Well, by crossing the boundaries between biology, chemistry, and ancient linguistics, Braden's research points to an intentional, universal pattern in our genetic code. When translating the chemical elements of DNA into their ancient linguistic equivalents, it literally reads, "God eternal within the body." The statistical odds of this exact message forming by random chance are roughly 0.0043%. It heavily suggests a universal intelligent code is built right into our fundamental biology.
No way that's just random. Section 4. You are the broadcast. Receiving identity.
So if our DNA is an antenna, who or what is actually programming the system? Let's look at integral membrane proteins, or IMPs for short. On the surface of your cells are specific IMPs called self-receptors. Out of the 8 billion people on Earth, no two humans have the exact set of self-receptors. This is exactly why you can't just easily transplant organs between people. Your immune system reads the foreign self-receptors and rejects them as not self. But since these receptors are on the outside of the cell, they're designed to receive a signal from the environment. They are downloading your unique identity from a universal quantum energy field. Which sets up a really perfect analogy. I want you to think of your physical body like a television set, and your self-receptors are the little antennas picking up the specific channel that is you. So if that television set breaks, does the broadcast die?
The answer, obviously, is no. The broadcast isn't actually inside the TV, it's just being received by it. As Dr. Lipton puts it so powerfully, our identity is a broadcast and the body is merely the receiver. If the physical body dies, the unique energy signature, that broadcast, continues on in the field. This biological mechanism implies that we are fundamentally immortal, energetic fields that are just temporarily playing through these carbon-based receivers.
Section 5. Beyond competition. A new paradigm. So the crucial point is, if we accept this profound cellular truth, we kind of have to zoom out and look at how it completely dismantles the societal structures we've built. Darwinian theory essentially indoctrinated us into a mindset of separation, ruthless competition, and scarcity. It told us we had to fight tooth and nail to survive. But quantum physics and epigenetics reveal a completely different reality. Matter is actually energy, and that energy is shaped by a unified, cooperative, invisible field. At our very biological and quantum core, we are intimately connected to our environment and to each other. Section 6. The cooperative garden. Coming through nature. All of this reveals a truly beautiful vision for the future of human civilization. See, we aren't separate from nature, just dropped here to conquer it. We came through nature. Look at any healthy ecosystem or garden. It's not in a constant state of ruthless war. It's the absolute height of community and cooperation. Every single organism works in harmony to maintain the garden's balance. According to this new scientific blueprint, true human evolution isn't about competing to see who survives. It's about coming together in community. The chaos and collapse we see in modern society isn't a reason to despair at all. It's simply the necessary falling away of an old, incorrect, and totally unsustainable Darwinian model to make room for a cooperative one. Which leaves us with this final, deeply empowering thought. The science is making it clear. You are not a victim of your biology, nor are you some isolated machine in a hostile world. You are a creator. You are an energetic broadcast rewriting your cellular blueprints with every single thought and emotion. So how will you act differently today, knowing that you hold the power to shape your own health, and in cooperation with others, the entire future of our human garden? Keep that in mind as you step back into your day. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and keep exploring.